Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of TerraTech. And on tonight's episode, we're going to be continuing where we left off. Now, I did want to start here on the opening screen to let you guys know there is another YouTuber of the week. Right there, Mr. Mielo, or Miala, however you want to say his name right there. He is the YouTuber of the week. Go check him out. He's making good videos. There also is another patch, an unstable update 0.6.2.2 for Steam players only. Improvements, optimization, tweaks, and bug fixes. And of course, you can see all the stuff they did right there at that link on the side. We're going to actually be continuing with our regular gameplay. We're going to be getting back into this. Now, last time we left off, about a week ago, it's because, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here for me. We're getting back into our dailies finally, but the last time we left off, we kind of just picked a direction and set out into the unknown to see what we could find with this bot right here. And now we're gonna have to either one, go back to our base, or two, find another place to set up another base. And I think that's what we're gonna end up doing. Now, I did have a little bit of money here to spend, so I bought a few of these little receivers, these wireless chargers for the GeoCore. And the GeoCore are absolutely amazing. They transfer energy. It looks a little bit slower, but in the end, it's actually a lot faster because they're transferring more of it per little boost. And I can see that based off of the batteries actually going up as I do this. But I'm going to add a few more here just because it's not going as fast as I might want it for the bot that we have, because we have a lot of batteries on this bot. In fact, this bot is one of the best designed bots that I've built as far as energy goes, because I can go almost an entire 2 episodes without ever having to recharge this thing. So it takes a lot, and I do mean a lot of power to boost this thing back up to full. And you can see even with all of these things, it's barely even making headway in there, and that's fantastic. That's what I want. I don't want it to be so quick that it's done within a matter of seconds, because when it is that way, then I know it's not going to last long. So if you're ever deciding, you know, how many batteries to put on it and how long it's going to take to charge up, you can do things such as build an entire wall of nothing but these solar reactors and the wireless charger, so that when you go by, it immediately charges you up. Of course, I would suggest putting a whole bunch of batteries on that wall, because if you go back during the daytime, you're going to want it to be able to charge you up or not daytime, at nighttime, you're going to want it to be able to charge you up as well, and it needs to have retained enough power to do that. So it needs to have enough power on the wall to equal what you have on your bot, and then a little bit extra, because you don't want your wall to get destroyed while you're gone. And we've built things like that before. You don't always have to use a wall. You can actually use a bot. You can have a bot like this sitting over there getting charged up, and as you go by, the bot itself will have a lot of these wireless chargers on them and charge up your new bot. And so that way, if you ever need to use this in any way as an actual, you know, offensive ability, of offensive weapon, you can still do that. But at the same time, it's still there for you as a recharge station. In fact, a mobile recharge station for you. So if you happen to go off in another direction, go ahead and throw an AI unit onto this thing and say, hey, follow me over to another direction. We're going to set up base there for now on, and now we don't need to keep coming back to the one little spot we're at. I'm actually stuck here because of these things. We'll get off of that little sticky situation here in a second, but I wanted to wait for this thing to get charged up really quickly. Now, normally I cut this kind of stuff out of the videos, but I wanted to show you guys for a few reasons. Some of you have asked, what do I do to recharge my bot? You know, do I do this, what I'm doing right now? I mean, what's the protocol on something like that? It really comes down to what you want to do. Like I said, the wall's a way you can go about it. You can also go about using the man, it's gonna take a little bit of time to do this one. You can also go about using the generators that you use for fuel, such as wood and oils and things of that sort, that you can use to charge it up on the go. And that is actually a really good method. It's fantastic when it works. However, when you're out here in the desert, it may not work as well because there's not as many resources you can use to get it. But you can see there's still pieces of wood out here, little things that you can harvest. And as long as you're diligent about it and you have enough on your bot, you should be able to keep up with it. Not a guarantee though. Nothing is in this game. There is always something that will break that rule. There we go. We're backing up now. All right, so maybe get rid of those weapons there on the bottom. I don't know. I kind of like having them there. The only thing I would change on this bot is having more wheels because it seems like it's a beast. It's really heavy because it has a lot of those weapons on there, you know, things of that sort that just kind of weigh it down. We're going to come over here. We're going to destroy this guy because he has a question mark on it, which means he might have something we can get off of him. Maybe if we don't destroy it. But I think, you know, one blast with this, that's the downside to using so many heavy weapons. It really only takes one shot to destroy everything on the bot. And I actually designed them that way. So when we go... I love it. Oh, okay, here we go. We got some reinforcements plus the new guy who's coming in. I would love to see those things actually explode like bombs. It shows them as bombs on the map when they're landing. I would love to actually see bombs when they land. Ooh, he's attacking the base. Fantastic, but we're going to attack him now. Cruiser 823 is completely annihilated. Absolutely nothing left of that guy. Oh, wow. Wow, it's still raiding blocks. That is crazy. Oh, wait, we got some new guys. You got some new guys. We got front flip, Lightbringer. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You will be mine, my little friend. Yeah, come on. Go, go, go. Destroy Royal Robinson. Oh, I can't hit him over the hill. Oh, man. You know what would be good? Is if they added an item in the game that did auto-targeting, but by radar. So that you could maybe even do manual, too, on it occasionally if you really wanted to. Got a wing right there. So we're getting some more of those plane pieces. Maybe we'll actually be able to make one here in the future. But no, it'd be good to be able to, like, say, I want to auto-lock onto this guy. Select him or have it do it automatically. And then once you're locked onto him, it stays that way. So that you'd be able to go over a hill and the weapons know that's what you're going after. To the extent that I don't... Ooh, there's another guy back here. Didn't see that. Oh, you're a small guy. Vin AA done? Nah, yeah, you're nothing I need to worry about. What are we taking damage for in the front? Did we do damage to ourselves? I think we might have, actually. All right, let's go this way. We're going to be... You know, I kind of wanted to set up a base of our own out here, but at the same time, now that I know we need more cash, I kind of want to go back to our other base because that's where our harvester bot is. And it's going to cost a lot of money to recreate that harvester bot. And if we're trying to save up money, that's, you know, that's the least of the things we want to do. So, yeah, let's kind of head back. There clearly is other things in the way, such as the little question marks that we could do on the way back there. We don't really need the experience anymore. We do kind of still need to go to level 4, or at least earn our experience to level 4. So when they add that in the game, we're ready to go. So it's not a complete waste to do these little battles. And you never know what you might get out of them. And like I said, there's still a few pieces in the game we don't have, and those are really, really difficult to find. I have been told that there are a few pieces that you can't get in any other way other than to make them. And so at some point, we might actually have to sit down and learn the recipes, go through that on one episode, and just kind of read it off the webpage, go through each and every single one of the different recipes that are there, and decide for ourselves which ones are worth using and which ones aren't. I think they're all worth using to some extent, but it's whether you can find the block in any other way and whether you can find the resources to make those blocks. And sometimes you get a seed map that is just abysmal when it comes to resources. I've had plenty of them where you just can't find the silver resource. I keep forgetting what the name of that one is, but it's used in almost all the crafting. Like, you need that one as the base, and then you can use like all the other ones. And you know, there are a few recipes that don't call for that resource at all, but very, very few in the scheme of things that don't use that. And I've had a map where I went out and searched in every direction for hours, and I didn't find one, not one of those blocks. So if you have a map like that, I would just suggest starting over. It's pretty much done with on that one. If you can't find the resources, even just the valuable ones, like you want to have a good mix of all of them. And lately, I have seen that the maps have been a lot better. So I don't know if they've maybe made some changes to it, or if I've just been getting lucky. I would love to hear your guys' experiences on it, because it's kind of difficult to judge a game based off of one person's opinion, one person's experience. Because I've seen people go through games and, you know, never, ever have to kill mobs more than once to get what they're looking for. Well, I've seen other people go through games where they have to kill things, you know, 15, 16, 17 times for hours trying to get that one piece that they're looking for, and it just never drops. So yeah, it's one of those things you definitely want to be open to starting on another map right off the bat. You know, kind of look around, get your bearings, and find out if it looks like the ideal place for you or not. Of course, there's a rock here. I don't know why I came up here in the grassland. The grassland is notoriously going to be bad for a bot this size and this design here. But I don't know. It's something we kind of avoid. We don't really come up here because of that reason. And I want to show it off. I want to show that it is kind of a nuisance to come in here. And all the little tiny rocks on the ground, I think, is what does it. You know, if they were big outcroppings, my weapons would be able to hit it. But when they're this small and this low to the ground, they really just kind of cause havoc. Come on, you can do it. The boosters for the win. Whew, you are such a freaking pig, man. This thing is not... of course. Come on, boosters. Go into build mode again. Wait for it to stop lagging out there. There we go. So if you ever get stuck, remember, go into build mode and hit your boosters. If you don't have boosters on your bot, you're doing something wrong, guys. Definitely, boosters are a must for a size bot. You know, that's like this. This is a beast, and sometimes not in a good way. Sometimes it's just fat and over just cumbered in its own weight. You know, it just can't move around very much. And of course, like I said, I could put more wheels in the front. I think that would help. I think also spacing these wheels out just by one block in between would give them the ability to turn so much better than they are right now. But I didn't have space at the time I made this, and I wanted the extra wheels because I needed the weight allowance. It's just, you know, like I said, it's fat and it's overcomely. But overall, it doesn't really need to be agile. It doesn't need to make those hairpin turns because it has weapons that fire in every single direction other than diagonal, and I don't think you can fire them in diagonal. And that guy just got lucky. He got really... Oh, maybe not so lucky. Yeah, I was going to say he survived us running him over, and I know exactly how deadly that can be because I've been destroyed before. I've had my bot completely annihilated, and of course, you know, it respawns you with that sucky little tiny bot that is your beginner one. It's not really that bad to begin with, but when you're out here fighting bots this size, and you got to remember, the bots on the map, they spawn based off of what you're driving around. So if you're in an area and you're driving around a giant bot like this, you're going to get some really, really big bots spawning near you. And then if you get destroyed, those bots don't just despawn. They're still there. They're still floating around out there. And so you're going against those bots that are designed for a bigger one with something that's so much smaller that's really not going to be able to compete. Now, can you do it? The answer is yes. Of course, if you're persistent and you're careful, pretty much any bot in this game can be taken out with that smaller bot. It may take you a gazillion lives to do it, and it may take you, more time than you really want to spend, but it's definitely possible. And I've done it in the past where I've taken on bots 3, 4, 5 times my size, especially if you can get them stuck on something, you know, while they're chasing you. Get them stuck on a little rock or something where they can't really hit you, and then you can just sit right underneath them and try to find out where their cab is without letting them move and just sit there and destroy them. The problem with doing that is you really, really want to be cautious about where you destroy their blocks. If you destroy their blocks in the wrong spot, you may free them from their captivity, and then you're going to be in some serious trouble. So yeah, just kind of be a little bit of aware of what blocks they have and what kind of activity they're going to be able to perform once you break that block. Come on, we're going to be able to get over this. I don't know about the next ridge line. That may be a problem. I was kind of wondering if maybe we should go over this, but we're going to. We're going to get stuck right there, obviously. Go into build mode if it doesn't freak out completely and totally, and it has. We've lost both of those things on there. You know what? I am also going to get rid of these because we don't really need them, and they're constantly getting in the way. So let's, oh geez, so much lag. Oh, come on, get in there. It's only when we go into build mode too, so that's kind of disturbing. I'm not sure why that's the case. We're going to be getting up this hill. Yes, we are. Boosters for the win. Come on, let me shoot. Get rid of that tree that might just kind of snag us off a little bit that I don't want. There we go, here we go. Oh, wow. Wow, okay, so when I said this is the best design, I meant best design for combat, not for moving around. I've had bigger base bots that were able to take these hills like nothing. It was not an issue for them to get over this stuff. Like I said, this is not really designed for mobility. This is designed to get in there as a tank. And tanks, you know, you do want that mobility to them. If you look at the way tanks are designed in real life, they do need to be able to get around in places most vehicles can't. And this thing is able to do that. It's able to get around in places that most of the smaller bots still cannot get over. Like getting over these hills for a smaller bot, not even doable, really. At the same time, it needs to be more armored than anything else, and that's what this is. I think this is way more armored, and you can see there's armor all over the bot. In fact, we've lost a few pieces here and there on this side, and that shows me that it's working. I mean, if we're losing armor on the sides, then we're definitely taking damage on those sides, so I probably need to replace that here at some point, but it's going to weigh me down even more. You can see the wheels sparking here on the bottom. That shows just how overweight those wheels are becoming, and it really comes down to not just having enough weight allowance for your wheels on flatland. You got to remember that when you go over corners, when you go over hills, a lot of the weight will get thrown onto one wheel or another because the other ones aren't touching the ground as much anymore because they're kind of up in the air over some of these hills. You need to take into account that because if you don't, when you go over those hills, your bot's just going to get stuck. It's not going to be able to go anywhere, and that's really where the boosters come into play. Good job. Oh, okay. Did we get something new? What is this? Oh, no, that's just a... Oh, it's a Venture wireless charger. Okay, well, we don't have one of those yet. We'll definitely take that with us. Nice. So we're getting some new pieces. Makes it all worthwhile when we get something that we've never had before. Let's see. What is this question mark over here? Anything? Actually, I think it's kind of freaked out over here. There's no question mark to be had. There are blocks, but nothing that we really need. Okay, well, we'll leave that stuff there. Occasionally, the game does that. Used to happen a lot more than it is now, but it still happens. So if you see a question mark like that, that's kind of just there and there's nothing there, just kind of ignore it. Be aware of its surround. Be aware that it's going to be there from now on, probably, until you start the game over again. Or it does another update that fixes whatever that weird issue was. It used to do that a lot for the airplanes, and it used to do that for a lot for items that you didn't pick up manually yourself. So if you destroyed a block, or a bot, I should say, that had an item that it says, oh, you know, there's an item there, pick it up, there's a question mark, and you picked it up with the SCU, then it would always kind of stay there. But they fixed that issue. Now that doesn't happen anymore. You do find occasionally that creeps back in. I think that's what happened back there, is I probably picked something up, or I already had the item and I just never picked it up, and it's still kind of like, no, there's still something there, and there's definitely not. Digger Dumper. Oh, man, I would love to make a giant dump truck in this one. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, I played with those little dump trucks. Ooh, yeah, we take that. Those things are expensive. I played with little dump trucks, stick them out there in the sand and things of that sort, so I kind of have an affinity for that. I would actually enjoy that quite a bit. I just wish you could pick sand up in here. I mean, what would I do with it? I don't know. I mean, there's really nothing you could do with it, but to be able to shape and mold the ground, maybe even make a flat area, or make it where there's dust storms that would shape and mold the land so it would change from time to time, that would be interesting. Then you would have to, like, dig your base out. Of course, that's coming into, like, a whole another aspect of environmental, you know, gameplay that they may not want to put in or have the time to program to put in, but still, you know, we can dream, we can hope that one day all of these, you know, cool little things that we've seen in other games get integrated into just one. Because when I was growing up, games were very simple. They had to be. They didn't have a lot of space that they could put on, you know, the disc or the floppy drives, and then they went to like CDs and DVDs, and, you know, they kind of just keep upping the amount of space they have. And of course, once they up the space, the game companies can up what they can do with it. And of course, as your computers get better, they can up then what they think that you would be able to handle based off of that. So yeah, they're really integrating a lot more aspects of multiple genres, multiple different types of games. So it's not just a RPG anymore. It's an RPG first-person shooter. Not just an RPG first-person shooter, but an RPG first-person shooter RTS. You know, and it's just like, holy crap, you know, where does it end? I hope never, you know, like I hope they eventually create a game that has all the different genres mixed into each other in a way that still seems believable and still seems enjoyable and not overpowered in any way. So, geez, I don't know if I want to go against this guy. This guy got a ton of big boy cannons, and those things will go right through my shields. Although I did take his wheels off, he only has one more wheel. I can't believe he's still able to move like that. Here we go. Yes, Yes, that was a direct hit on him. Of course, now he's going to do a direct hit on me. I need to back this up. Back it up. Oh, there we go. He has no wheels on the front of his bot. So now I can kind of sneak around the side. This is what I was talking about, being very strategic about where you hit an enemy. If you hit them in the right spot or go after the right pieces, you don't need to go toe-to-toe with them. You can sit there in the back and just annihilate them. Like right now, I think I'm close enough to hit him because I'm up on a hill. Yeah, see, like right there, I get that little extra elevation. Oh, yes, that is beautiful. And we're going to pick up most of that stuff because that's a lot of money. And I actually think I might sell a lot of these big boy guns because I don't really need any more than I already have. I think I have like 60 or 70 right now, and this is going to give me an extra 20 or 30 to be honest, so that's pretty good. And of course my own weight is pushing my bot back, so let me go ahead and move these things out of the way. I'm actually going to come up here and see if I can get up onto this hill, and it might stop me if I get on there evenly. Yeah, actually it's working. It's maybe not so much, it's pushing me down. Well, it's working good enough. It's good enough. Let's see, is it going to pick up the rest of this stuff? I hope. I can't zoom out any more than that, huh? Oh, man. It'd be nice if they gave me the ability to zoom out a little bit more than you are right now. Just because as you create a bigger bot, you do need that extra ability. Also, you need the extra ability to zoom in on certain pieces of your bot when you have a giant one. So the giant base bot that I've been working on, it's so big and so massive that when I zoom in, the closest it can get to is actually further out than the camera is right now. And so when I'm making small changes to it, as you can see, like I can see little things here, but it's very difficult when you're doing like a base spot to see exactly what direction things are going and whether it's attached in the right angle that you're looking for. And so being able to zoom in on one little tiny piece would be very, very useful, because what it does is it uses your cab most of the time as the center of where it wants the camera angle to be. But that's not always the case, because I've put cabs on each one of the four corners of that base bot, and I'm not able to zoom in on that. I think it just uses the main bot as the center of gravity of where it wants the camera angle to be centered, and that is kind of horrible at sometimes, you know, like that's not what I want. And so yeah, just a manual override of that ability. Manual override on a lot of aspects of this game would be amazing, but it doesn't have it integrated in there yet. Maybe that's coming down the pipework. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody talk about anything like that. I don't know if that's even something most people want. I think this is closer to my base. I don't think that's out there yet. I think it's this way. So many blue things on the map. I probably shouldn't have put that many there. As far as I know, I could have passed it already. There's a lot of question marks over here. There's another base thing right there. Let's keep going straight and see what this is over here. Pretty sure this is not my base. Oh yeah, that's just a cab. Oh, there we go. There is my base. And there is another question mark that doesn't have anything at all to do with anything. Yeah, it's just kind of sitting there. So we're going to get a little bit of lag here as we get closer and closer to my base. I do apologize. It's going to happen. This is nightmare scenario lag. You know what it is, though, is when I stop recording, a lot of the lag disappears. So I think it just has to do with the computer running a lot of stuff on the game and recording at the same time. And this right here is why we came back. Come on, let me take it over. My tech. Ah, geez, you won't let me take it over, huh? Just too much lag going on. I noticed that quite a bit before. If there's a lot of lag, it definitely has a hard time taking over bots. Come on, you know you want to. No, I'm going to have to do that off camera, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to do an episode of me harvesting, maybe? Or maybe I'll skip that episode. I'm going to let you guys decide. I recorded 2 episodes today, and I'm going to wait to record the next episode until after you guys respond. Do you want to see an episode of me harvesting again? I actually enjoy it. I find it relaxing to go out there and harvest, and I need to get a little bit of money. I'll probably do about an hour to 2 hours off camera regardless, just because I need a lot of money to buy the pieces that I want. And these are my 2 towers over here, one bigger than the other. I never really did too much with bases. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We might actually disable the cell feature on this bot, remove all of these cell cannons, and just collect the pieces so that I can bring them back and maybe make some more items over here. So if you want to see that episode rather than just the harvesting one, let me know that. We'll go out there, grab a whole bunch of stuff, bring them back, and see what we can make on this, because we do have it. I don't know, somewhat fairly done actually. It's not too bad. We do need to add, I think, the fours and the fives on here because we got the threes already. So we do need the fours and the fives, which should be fairly easy enough to add on here. In fact, we can just kind of add them to one side or the other. That doesn't need a whole another line, although we could do that if we wanted to. So many like endless possibilities when it comes to this game. Like, what should you do? I don't know. Well, let's just figure it out and go as we see fit. As always, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I'm AC Gamer, and I will definitely catch you all next time. Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.